Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's webinar all about personal shopper secrets. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about one of my loves is taking people shopping and seeing the difference it can make to people when we can do it quickly, when we can do it effectively, when we find garments that make our hearts sing. I'm sure you have been shopping at some point in your life when you got it right and you found the perfect outfit and felt amazing and went home singing and dancing. But I know equally I've certainly been there when we've had disastrous shopping trips in the past and bought stuff because we've just had to, because it was a desperate buy. So tonight hopefully I'm going to give you some hints on what to do when you do go shopping. How I go shopping to make it fast and fun, and then also if you're interested, I'm also about to launch my personal shopping course, and I'd be delighted if you wanted to join me on that journey as well and learn more about how to become an expert personal shopper. So before we go any further, let me just sort of go through a few bits of housekeeping. So you are in the right place if you're the person that your friends and family always call if they need help choosing clothes or want to find the right outfit. You would love to work as a personal shopper, either for yourself or working within a store, or you'd like to learn how to make shopping quicker, easier and fun for yourself. Because as I say, it's a joy when it's right, but it can be a complete nightmare when it goes wrong. So let's hope we can find a great way to help you and give you some tips to help you when you go shopping. So my name's Gail Morgan. I'm lucky enough to have worked as an image consultant and trainer for the last 20 plus years, working both with individuals and with companies. And I spend a lot of my time rummaging in wardrobes, scouring the shops, and helping people mainly just feel more comfortable and confident in their clothes. And if I can do that and share that my knowledge with people to help them achieve that, then that's my job, that's my work done. And it's a it's just a joy to be able to help people to do that. My background is retail. Most of my jobs have always had a retail kind of slant or something to do with clothes or shopping. And most of my Saturday jobs or my holiday jobs when I was at university were in some sort of shop, some sort of store, and so I've always loved that side of it. And I've been privileged, as I say, to work in numerous women's wardrobes, helping them to feel confident with their clothing choices. I've worked in a few blokes' wardrobes as well, but it tends to be mostly women. I also worked for John Lewis as a consultant fashion advisor for about 3.5 years, which is fantastic. And I also train people to join this amazing profession and set up their own style businesses. But I'm also a wife and mum, and I've built my business around my kids. So I've worked and built the business around them. And so I've always been able to be there for them whenever it's possible as well. But they're a bit bigger than they were when I first started. So what you're going to discover today is that by knowing just a few simple tips, you can transform the way that you'll shop in the future. Hopefully by knowing that, you're going to save time, you're going to save money and stress when you're shopping, whether it is just for yourself or if you're with someone else, because again, whatever level you're taking someone else shopping, if you can give them some helpful advice, it's always great to do that with a friend or with a client. As I say, then you could also, how you could train to become a personal shopper or a wardrobe wizard. So if you are interested in finding out more about the course, then please stay on, because as you'll find and as you'll discover, personal shopping is just one part of the sort of style puzzle, as I call it. We're going to look at the personal shopping side of this in detail today, but there is so much more to it and the background to it as well. So just to give you a little bit of background about me, I grew up sort of in the 1980s, as it were, so that was my kind of time when I was discovering fashion, and look at the gems and joys that I had to work with. And so we thought we were the bee's knees. We thought we looked brilliant, even though a lot of people will say it was the decade that fashion forgot. But we thought we were cool. And, you know, we had some great role models out there as well. So a bit of a dynasty look, or, you know, Fergie was our role model. As you can see, some delightful outfits that she's used to go out in. And then this is the sort of thing that we wore to work. Again, lots of bright colours, lots of shoulder pads, massive earrings, and you couldn't go anywhere without a fabulous perm. And basically how I got into colour, into image consultancy, and found out about this whole image industry was way back in the late 80s. I was in retail then. I was on the graduate program with C&A, for those of you who remember the C&A, and I was moved every 6 months or every year to a different store around the UK. And I happened to be at home. I was convalescing from an operation, so I was off work for a month or so, and Mum said, why don't you come along to this colour analysis session that Dad bought me for Christmas, and you know, I think you'd be interested, see what happens. And so I went along and was just amazed at the evening and what Mum was taught and what she was shown, but equally, you know, how she changed her wardrobe in the next few weeks, because she really took it on board and started to change the colours in her wardrobe. And she still to this day wears the right colours. She's never wavered from it since having this, because, you know, I kind of realised that she wasn't probably the most confident person around clothes and fashion, and we'd never had that sort of relationship where we'd go shopping as a leisure activity like I do with my daughter. So it was something that really brought us together, and, you know, gave Mum the confidence to be able to talk to me about clothes, because she knew that I was always interested in it. And so it was a great bonding, and as I say, still now as well, because she'll ask my opinion about something and she'll feel that she can contribute to a conversation that my sister and I might be having, or my daughter and my sister and I might be having. So it really brought out that in her, so it really helped strengthen our relationship as well. So I sort of guessed I'd be the same as Mum, because we're very, very similar in colouring. And so I started to buy a few of the right colours, bearing in mind it was the late 80s and you saw the colours that were around in the shops at that time. But on the days I did wear the colours, people really noticed me. They had a positive response, and I really thought, gosh, there must be something in this for people to you know, make this sort of reaction. They'd ask if I was, you know, if I'd been away on holiday, if I'd, you know, lost weight, or all those sort of things. Whereas in fact it was no different to the day before, when I might have been wearing a different colour. So I can only say that this sort of idea of working with colour sort of niggled away at me. And when I found out, I was pregnant, I decided to train to become an image consultant. So this was me back in the day, and looking very fresh-faced there, and that's my son, who you just saw graduating earlier on. So I started my business, well, I trained when I was pregnant with Tom, and started my business 3 months after he was born. Managed to get on a government scheme for new businesses and grew my business very quickly. We were living in South Wales at the time, and sort of rode the wave of colour analysis in South Wales, really. So worked really, really hard for a couple of years there, and then after I had my daughter, we moved back to London, and so started the business again. So I've you know, had to set up my business a few times in different parts of the country, and start afresh with new clients each time. So I do know how to, you know, set up a business in different areas and find new clients in different places. So as I say, over the years I've worked with so many people, some amazing people, and as I say, started training people as well. But I've always loved taking people shopping, because, you know, as I say, it's back to that retail buzz, and means that I can do that as well. So as I say, I worked for John Lewis as a consultant fashion advisor, so I had all the buzz of retail, but none of the hassle. I didn't have to do the staffing rosters. I could just turn up and take and help people buy clothes and run and compare fashion shows. So yeah, I was in my element. And then over the time, I've also kind of put together my own signature system, which is kind of a summary of my knowledge or of working with people over the last 20 odd years, of tips and tricks of what to do and what to avoid, all based on my experience. And so I put this together as the Wardrobe That Works program, and that still runs. It's an online program and goes through all those different elements and to help you sort out your own wardrobe. And these are the steps, the chapters that we follow in the Wardrobe That Works. So you can see that personal shopping is part of that, obviously, but actually it's towards the end of the course, because you need to know a lot more information before you can really effectively go shopping. Obviously, some of the things I'm going to teach you tonight you'll be able to do anyway, but it's just to make you aware that knowing all these other elements will help you when you're shopping. It's not just a case of rocking up at the shopping mall and being able to buy effectively straight away. It is considering other elements, like your body shape, like what's in your wardrobe already, the colours that are going to flatter you, and also working within a colour palette so that you don't have to buy loads and loads of clothes, because if you work within a particular colour palette, things will coordinate much better, so your clothes actually work much better together. But that's just something to be aware of, that just to see the context of where personal shopping comes into it. And so, these are a few of the retailers that I've worked for over the years, as I say, in my Saturday jobs and holiday jobs, and other some smaller independents as well. So I've been in an awful lot of fitting rooms, and I know how the retail industry works. And as you'll see, as part of the planning process for effective personal shopping, it's to know which shops to choose, either for yourself or for your client, so that you don't waste time when you're out shopping. So, it's about doing some research as well. So if you're looking for something for yourself or for somebody else, do a bit of research, because we have got the internet now that can help us to do a bit of research beforehand. So it'll save a bit on the shoe leather when you're actually out in the stores. So during tonight's training session, I'm going to refer to anyone that you take shopping as a client, although this could be a friend or it could be yourself. And I'm also going to assume that they're female, but personal shopping just works just as well for men. And but what I would avoid is going personal shopping in a group. It is much better if it's one-to-one, so that you can focus on the person that you're with and just work with them. So if you're going to go shopping, I would, there's a few things to think about here when you're going to do that. So thinking about a variety of different things, what do you need when you're going shopping? What do you need to think about before you go shopping? And, it's thinking about, what do they want? Have a list. Or is it for a special occasion, or is it to add to their wardrobe? I mean, I usually find that when I'm shopping with clients, it'll fall into either the special occasion category, so it could be for a wedding or for a ball or a special trip somewhere, or is it to add pieces to their existing wardrobe? It may also be for something like if they're going away on holiday, it could be to build a sort of capsule holiday wardrobe. So, questions that you might want to ask your client or the people that the friend that you're going shopping with is, what colours and styles do they like? Where do they normally go shopping? What sort of stores do they like as well? And what's their size? So what size clothes do they wear? And what's their budget? So all of these questions will help you decide, if you've got the choice, which shopping centre to go to or which shops to focus on. So where I live, live just north of London, so I have a huge, well, not huge choice, but I have a choice of at least 6 different shopping areas that I could take a client to, depending on where they're based, and also what after we've had a discussion beforehand, where I feel would be a good place to take them. So if you're shopping with a friend, or it's for yourself, then do consider all these questions, and then maybe again do a bit of research. Which shopping centres close to you will have those sort of stores in there, so that you can make sure you go to the right place, really, so that you're targeting the right sort of stores. Because if your friend's budget is on the low side, then you don't want to be going to designer stores. So just got to think logically, really, haven't you? And then the other thing to think about, as I say, is when you're doing this, where and when to go shopping, is which shops, which shopping centre, as I said. So those are the first things to think about. But another big consideration is what time of day. If you can, the earlier you can go shopping, the better, basically, whatever day of the week it is. It'll be quieter, you will have more attention from the staff probably, and it's just easier to find things. So Tuesday morning is an awful lot easier to go shopping than 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Because it'll be a completely different shopping experience. So, if I'm working with someone who absolutely hates shopping and their only experience has ever been a Saturday, then, I would encourage them to take some time off during the day, during the week, so that, they can have a more pleasant experience, or find a shopping centre that's open late at night, so that we could go when it's a bit quieter, because it's usually quieter later at night, apart from the run up to Christmas, but other times of the year it's usually quieter. And then from time of year, it's kind of like, well, what are they shopping for? So if they're shopping for a mother of the bride outfit, actually April, this time of year, is absolutely perfect. So I would say March, April, maybe a bit of May, but after that you're not going to really have necessarily going to have as big a choice if it's a summer wedding, obviously. But don't sort of think, oh, I'm going to be able to go and buy an outfit to go shop to a wedding just a couple of days or weeks beforehand. You do need to give yourself a little bit of time in case anything needs altering, or if you can't find the size of something that you think is marvellous and it's sold out, or it's going to take too long to get from another store. So that's logical. Equally, that if you're looking for summer holiday clothes, then don't leave it till July, end of July, to go and buy shorts, because I can assure you there won't be much choice left in the shops. You need to be buying shorts in May and June before they run out. So it's always about thinking ahead and having an understanding of how the retail year works, which doesn't always, or not at all actually, not very often coincide with actually what the weather that's happening outside. So the best time to buy your winter coat, for example, is at the end of August, beginning of September, because that's when they first come into the shops, so you're going to get the best choice then. And so if you're going to meet a friend, meet a client, decide where you're going to meet them. So I would always recommend going and meeting in a coffee shop somewhere, so if one of you's late, then you're not just sort of hanging around outside a shop or on the street corner waiting for someone. You can wait in there and obviously have each other's phone numbers to make sure, so that you can send messages and things. And then when you do know what you've got a plan, what you really, really want to buy, and I would say that's really important as well, to have that list and have your sort of your real definites that you want to purchase. Then think about which shop you're going to start off in. And generally, I would always start off in a department store, because you've got a whole choice of garments there. You've got a range of different brands, probably from quite low price to high price, and a whole different concessions. And then usually, certainly in the UK, there'll be some of those concessions will have a store a separate standalone store within the shopping centre or the shopping streets in close by. So if you want to go and have a look at a larger range of their stock, then you probably could go and do that outside. So there's lots of different things you can do there. But in preparation for your shopping trip, whether this is for you or for a friend or for a client, then it is important to dress appropriately. We've all seen Pretty Woman, so it's about dressing for. You'll get much better service if you look well groomed. You don't have to necessarily be suited and booted, but if you look the part and it looks like you're out to go shopping. The important thing is that your client needs to, or you need to wear clothes that are easy to change in and out of, because they're going to be stepping in and out of clothes. So you don't want to be lacing up shoes or having to undo loads of buttons all the time. I usually suggest that clients take a vest top with them, because then it's easy for them to try things on top of that, and comfortable underwear and everything as well, so that they're not, there's no VPL and things like that showing through, and skin coloured underwear as well, because again that will work with everything. And then bring any items that they need to be matched. So if it is a special occasion outfit, is there a pair of shoes that you want that they want to wear, then obviously bring those with them. And I always think about my stomach and also keeping my energy up, so I would make sure that I've got a cereal bar and a bottle of water in my bag, just in case. And then also make sure you schedule in a few breaks. Most people can probably shop for between 2 and 3 hours, but we usually need to have a cup of coffee or a drink somewhere after about 3 hours. Otherwise, you get tired, and I do sometimes see my clients sort of glazing over and saying, "Please give me food now." So always bargain to add some time for that. But what we can do by following this sort of process I'm going to teach you in a minute is to shrink the sales floor. Because if you stand in front of, at the doorway, if you like, of a department store, and you've got the ladies' departments in front of you, there is so much choice. I mean, it is, where do you start? And, lots of my clients are completely overwhelmed when they see all those clothes. And, it's quite scary, really. So how do you make the whole process easier? So my first tip would be to go to colour first of all. Now, whether you know what your best colours are, if you've had a colour analysis, or if you haven't, then think about, what colours have you already got in your wardrobe? What colours do you like? What colours do you don't like? Or say, right, I'm going to focus on 2 or 3, 4 colours today and try and find those colours. Because, if you can switch off and not be tempted by every single garment on the floor, on the sales floor, it does make it an awful lot quicker. So if I'm shopping for myself, I suit blue-based colours that are softer and sort of muted and fairly light to medium in depth of colour. So I'm not going to be stopping and looking at olive green or orange or bright pink. So I just ignore those colours when I'm in a shop, and I'll just go and look for the blues and the greens and the pinks and the greys that I can wear. And so I literally just ignore everything else in the shop. So it means that I can laser focus on those clothes. So I'll go and look at those clothes because I'm attracted by the colour. Then I'll look at the style to see whether it's a style that flatters my body shape. And I'll feel the fabric and see whether I think that's going to work for me. And then I will look and see if they've got the size. So I'm ignoring lots and lots of other garments in the shop. But as I say, I'm laser focused on the items that I know have got potential. And, and that's what I'd be doing with a client as well. So I'd be finding those garments for them in this order. So colour, style, size. And, I think if you go with someone else, you are going to choose things that maybe the client or your friend would never have picked up themselves. And usually those are the items that they end up loving, because it's kind of just getting people out of your comfort zone. We all need a shake-up sometimes, don't we? And it's not that we're going to make people wear clothes that they're never going to feel comfortable in. It's just about pushing the boundaries just a little bit and finding something that will work and that they're going to love and that they'll get compliments in, because who doesn't like that? And then what we'll do is collect all those items together and then go to the fitting room, so that you can try them on. But the important thing is thinking about etiquette of the fitting room. We have to be able to work with the sales staff. So help them sort all the clothes that you've gathered together. I mean, you may have 20 garments that you want to try on. So sort them out. You're not going to be allowed to take all those 20 into the fitting room. Work with whatever number you're allowed, whether that's 6 or 8, and take those into the fitting room with your client. If they're allowed to, if you're allowed to take your 6, 10, however many in as well, then great. But work with the sales staff. But before they go in there, make sure they just take the same type of garment in there. So take all the trousers in there, take all the dresses in there, take all the tops in there. Don't have a mixture of each, unless you're looking for a wedding outfit, obviously. But otherwise, just do it by type first of all, so that there's a logic to the order that you try things on in. So if you're with a client, help them to get dressed, take clothes off on and off their coat hangers, do up the buttons or zips, make sure that they are comfortable and can work quickly, and just see how it fits on the garments. The garments fit on their body, and then filter out any possibles, so that you're in charge, you're sorting and sifting through the clothes. And so, you follow a process. You sift, anything that they think is good, then we'll hold on to in the fitting room. Anything that's not so good, or we need a different size, then they go back out of the fitting room to the sales staff, maybe ask someone to go and look for a different size if they've got it in the rest of the store. But really, then your client or yourself could be asking, well, what am I going to buy? And these are a few questions that you could be asking them to see whether it's worth buying the garments. So it's worth thinking about value versus cost. So what this means is it's kind of the cost per wear. So something might cost seemingly a lot of money to start off with, but if they're going to wear that garment for the next few years, or they'll know they'll wear it lots and lots of times, then actually the cost per wear is very low. So if you kind of think, you buy a dress for £150, but you can wear that every week to work for I don't know, 30 weeks of the year, and maybe dress it up to go out in the evening, and you could wear it for 2 or 3 years, then the cost for that is actually negligible. Whereas if you buy a cocktail dress for £150, you're going to be lucky to wear it 5 times. Now, I'm not saying that they can necessarily, we do like to have different items, but hopefully you kind of get where I'm coming from. And I can remember working with a client, and she said, well, there were 2 actually, and I was doing some training with them, and one of the girls said, she spent £250 on a pair of jeans, and the other lady was completely aghast that she'd spent that amount of money on a pair of jeans. And she said, well, I wear them 3 times a week, and I love how they fit on me, and they make me feel amazing. Why wouldn't I spend that amount of money on it? So the value was amazing for her, that's what she was getting from these jeans. And actually, again, cost per wear was tiny. And then you think about, well, how many pairs of £50 jeans have I got in my wardrobe that I've worn and got fed up with? Actually, we do have slightly skewed visions of what we spend and everything sometimes. So it's worth thinking about. Equally, is something a sale bargain a bargain if you don't wear it, or you've got to buy loads and loads of stuff to go with it because it doesn't, there's nothing else in your wardrobe that's that colour or that style. So again, that's where my laser focus of, look at colour first, then style, then size could help you with that. Because when I'm looking on the sale rack, again, I follow the same principle there. So I'm not looking at something that's, oh, look at that, it's an amazing bargain. But as I say, if it was an orange or lime green, I'm not going to buy it anyway. It could be the best bargain in the world, but I'm never going to wear it because I know it won't suit me. And it'll make me feel awful. So what's the point? And then the flexibility of a garment. When I'm looking at this is the power of 3. So could you wear this for about 2 to 3 events? Could it be worn or accessorized in 3 different ways? Could I wear it for 3 years? And most importantly, will it go with 3 things that I've already got in my wardrobe? So these are just little things, words, questions you could be asking yourself when you're weighing up whether you want to buy something, or when you're consulting a client and asking them, is this what you want to wear? Is this going to be the right outfit for what you want it to do? Do you want to wear the outfit again? All those sort of questions. We have to be there to be the voice of conscience also, almost for your client. And then fashion trends. So equally, are you looking for something that is fashionable? Do you want to be wearing something that's the height of fashion, or are you more of a classic dresser and you want something that's going to have that longevity and going to be able to wear it more for longer, and you don't want to be seen as a sort of fashion victim or to be super trendy in that sense. And one's not right, one's not wrong. It's what's right for you. So just things to remember. So if you're going shopping, do make a list, and it's usually better if you write it down. Also, if there's something that you really want first on the list, then make sure that's at the top. If you're working with a client or a friend, then obviously make sure you've got mobile telephone numbers, as I said before, so you can contact one another. Remember to dress appropriately, dress comfortably, so that you might be walking around. Think about where you are shopping. If you're shopping, so if I was shopping on Oxford Street, I do probably have to have a coat, especially unless it's the height of summer. Or kind of have layers. Maybe I could wear a poncho or something, so I could tuck it in my bag when we're inside the shops, because the temperature is going to fluctuate greatly between outside and in the store. It's not so bad if you're in a shopping centre and if you've driven there, but if you've come by public transport and you're in a town centre, then do think about coats, because you really don't want to have massive bulky coats when you're shopping, and big bags. The best thing you can do is to have a smaller bag that maybe you can put across your across your body, or something that's a shoulder bag, because you needs to go out of the way. So make sure that if people are going shopping, that they do have a budget, and that maybe a little bit of a contingency fund as well in case they see something amazing. Allow yourself plenty of time, but within reason, obviously, because you want to make it as fun and fast as possible. You don't want to be traipsing around the shop for hours on end, searching and searching. And then keep receipts just in case. Think about where and when to go. And the size thing, just use it as a guide, because we all know that different shops are different sizes. We're never going to be a size 12 in every single store, and be realistic. It doesn't mean that you've suddenly gained 10 pounds just by walking down the street. It's just the branding and just the size element that go with different stores. I've got 4 or 5 different sizes in my wardrobe, and they all fit me. So just, it is literally a guide, and don't always believe the number that's on the little tag on top of the hanger either, because invariably someone's moved the garment off that hanger. So always check the label to make sure you're getting the right size. So that's it. So any questions from that so far? Let me just double check in the questions box if there is anything. So if you have got anything, then let me know. Oh, good. I can see. I'm going to say they can hear me. Oh, hang on. And let me just see if I can. Yeah. Oh, it's everyone telling me they could hear me. That's good. Great. So any questions on the shopping kind of everyone sort of, someone asked me about the mic being muted by the administrator. That's right. Yes, it is. It's just the way the system works. But if anyone's got any questions on that, then please add that into the box, and I'll answer that for sure. Okay, someone's just asked here about underwear. Yes, so underwear is important, and as you would have seen earlier on, it was part of the wardrobe that works. And I would always, well, not always, it can sometimes be worth, if you haven't had a bra fitting for 6 months to a year, and certainly if something's changed, you've lost or gained weight, then it's well worth going to have a bra fitting before you go and do any personal shopping, because any clothes, it's going to be a challenge for it to look brilliant if you're wearing the wrong size bra. And it's amazing the difference that it can make by wearing the right size, because suddenly people find that they've got a waist, which is always handy, and look and feel great afterwards. And it's I've just been working with a lady, and she changed, she was wearing, I think it was a 36D, and when she got measured properly, she was a 30 double G. So that's a big difference, and you can imagine the difference it's made to how her clothes fit and look. I've got one question here from Uche. I think that's how you say it, Uche. Hopefully I pronounced that right. What's the fee for shopping for a client? So again, that depends to some extent on where you're based. If you're somewhere in if you're a big city like London, it's usually, well, it kind of works out around £80 to £100 an hour. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more, sometimes it'll be a little bit less, and it depends on the package. Most personal shoppers would put together a sort of 3 or 4 hour basic package, because that's generally how long it takes to to do, at least when you're first starting. If I know a client very well, we can probably do the majority of the shop within a couple of hours, but it just depends on what sort of shop it is. If that was just a top-up sort of shop, then that was probably how long we'd do it. If you're not based in a major city, then the prices might be more down to sort of maybe 40, 50, 60 pounds an hour. But again, there might be a package rate which might be slightly cheaper than that, but that will give you a kind of an idea. Obviously, there are personal shoppers that are within stores, and they are either free or fairly cheap, but you are restricted then to what's available in their store. And so if there's nothing in that shop that really suits you, you can't sort of, when I worked in John Lewis, although we had a great range of stock, I couldn't then take the client out to Zara or to H&M or somewhere, or to Marks and Spencer's or anywhere else, or to LK Bennett, or to anywhere. I couldn't take them to a different shop because we were restricted with what we had in the store. So that's the benefit that you've got with a private personal shopper, that we can go anywhere. We don't have to stay within the same store. Okay, brilliant. Well, if you've got any other questions, then please feel free to ask. I'm happy to continue answering any questions you've got to that. So So as we've seen, the benefits of personal shopping is that it's speedy, because if you work with someone who knows what they're doing, it should be much faster than trying to do it all yourself if shopping is not your idea of fun. It makes it simple, it makes it fun as well. It's very rewarding, both for as a personal shopper and as a client. It's enlightening to the client as well, and gives them all sorts of new ideas to help them when they go shopping in the future. But as a personal shopper, it's a brilliant opportunity to build a business within the style industry, and it's great to be able to do that, and to share your knowledge with clients, and at the sharp end really, because that's where it all happens, is when you go shopping. So I've developed this my personal shopper course, which is online, and I'm launching this at the beginning of May officially, and so this is just to introduce people to my new course. And as you can see, it is based on the Wardrobe That Works program, as you saw earlier on, which is for my private clients. So I'm basically would be teaching you to be able to follow that process yourself, and to be able to work with clients at different levels, but also to have that understanding of what you need to know before you actually take the client personal shopping, because this is definitely the sort of order that I would work with a client to when I'm with them. And so you can see that that goes, the personal shopping is step 7 out of 9, and so it's not something you leap into straight away. So as I say, the course, I'm really excited about this. It's been in the planning for a long time, and as I say, I love talking about shopping as well as doing it. So the course is online. It's 9 steps or chapters. You get all the training, ideas and guidance to help you so that you can understand your client, both their mindset, so a little bit about what might be going on in their head when they go shopping and when they're faced with the shops, and also to understand their body, their colouring, what sort of garments are going to suit their body, and to be able to help them to find them. The course will help you to organise your time when you're shopping, give you the plans as to what to do, and also, as you saw at you also get one of the chapters is all about how to find your ideal client and then build the foundations of a successful business. And then I'm just quickly going to run through each of those style steps. So the first step is all about getting a little bit inside your client's head, starting to ask them some questions, a little bit of, and discovering maybe their image demons, or just what makes them tick, why they choose certain clothes, or why they don't like parts of their body. But you don't have to do this with every client, but it's very interesting to sort of be able to maybe maybe just touch on a couple of these questions when you're out shopping with them. It's not about counselling or delving too deep, but equally, it may be that some people need to know these or think about these things before they go shopping. But it's all about creating empathy and finding out what sort of questions to ask, and being able to listen as well effectively with the client. We look at style personality. So really this style personality determines why one person who's a size 12 with a similar sort of colouring to their friend would choose completely different clothes to them, and what is the difference, and why they would do that. And we'd also look at creating their style words. So what words would they like to be known for? Why? How do they want to be seen? What do they want people to understand about them, based purely on how they look? So a little bit of head stuff to think about at the beginning, and then we move into colour. So we look at colour theory, what makes up a colour characteristics to look for when we're looking at the different colours, and which colours work together, which palettes of colour work well, so that you can create outfits really easily. and which of these colour characteristics and palettes will work for different people, for different colourings, so that you can start to plan which colours you might put on a client so that they're going to look their best. A little bit on colour psychology, so what it means to wear green or blue or red, and also about neutral colours. So neutral colours are incredible. They are literally the building blocks of our wardrobe, and so thinking about how we might put those choose those neutral colours and which ones are going to work best for your client and their wardrobe. A little bit on body shapes, so looking at the different body shapes and which styles, fabrics, patterns will suit each shape, different figure characteristics and how to dress those characteristics in the most flattering way. So huge amounts of information there just so that you get to understand the body shapes, but then simple techniques and tips as to what to look for when you're actually in their client's wardrobe or when you're out shopping with them. Accessories, why they are vital. They really do make the difference to an outfit. They make the difference between an interesting outfit and a so-so outfit, and also give variety and interest to outfits as well. So we'll look at how to select the right accessories for the client, for the outfits, looking at scale and proportion to make sure that we get the balance there, and just showing you simple, easy ways to add that interest to any outfit. Fabulous photo here, but as I say, underwear is really, really important. So give you some tips on how to select the right bra size, how to teach your clients to be wearing the right bra, choosing the right knickers, choosing the right swimwear. So again, really important stuff to make them get literally those foundation garments right. And then we move into wardrobe management. So you will be taught how to sort someone's wardrobe, how to sort through their wardrobe, to declutter it, to find the garments that are going to be the building blocks for their wardrobe, that can create different outfits, organize different outfits, and put together new outfits, and then know which outfits to which garments then to maybe go and put on the shopping list, so that you can then create that elusive capsule wardrobe. So it could be packing a suitcase, going away on holiday, it could be a new work wardrobe, or it could be building a social wardrobe as well. So lots of different ideas in the wardrobe management part of the course. But it's giving you structure, giving your client structure, and giving them ideas so that they actually can use their wardrobe and love their clothes and enjoy getting dressed in the morning. And personal shopping, we'll expand a little bit on what we've done today, but looking more detailed about how to structure the shopping session, looking a bit more detail of which brands and stores would be perfect for your client, and how to get them coming back for more, because the beautiful thing about personal shopping is that once clients have experienced it, they more often not will. I've got clients that don't like to go shopping on their own anymore. They much prefer to go shopping with me. They'll save up and we'll go 3 or 4 times a year. But it means that they don't have to go shopping and spend their Saturday afternoons doing something that they hate. And so we'll save up our time together and we'll do all the shopping in a 4-hour session, and then they're sorted. And they love it because they know that they're wearing clothes that suit them, that will work with their existing clothes. They don't feel like they're wasting their time or their money, and they can go and do other things on their weekends rather than spending it wandering around a shopping centre. And then finishing touches is all about the grooming, the hair, the makeup, and looking after their clothes. So all those little things which make a big difference as to how they are perceived and how they come across, and how their clothes look. And as I say, this final step is all about finding your clients. So it's all about building your business. So this is taken from my business planning and marketing module that I've written, and is part of the two of the bigger courses that I run. So the Image Professional and the Personal Stylist course. But I've taken a lot of the information from that, and so you have this in this course as well, because you do need to know about marketing your business, finding those clients that you might be the best personal shopper in the world, but if you haven't got any clients to employ you, then you're not going to get very far. So you do need to have a bit of a business head on as well, but we help you with that, so that the right sort of places to go, how to network, how to create an elevator pitch, thinking about the social media that you need to be thinking about and which one to use, maybe looking at a website, not straight away, but thinking about how you're going to develop that in the future, looking at pricing and time management. So all the sort of the basics you're going to need to get that business up and running, and helping the clients that you're there to help, because they're waiting for you, I can assure you, and there are lots of people that really want you to be there to help them, so that they don't have to spend that time in the shops, but we can, because we love doing it, so it's fine. So the course is going to give you focus and simplicity. If you've been thinking about doing this but just need a bit of structure with how to do it, and need a bit of a formula to help you so that you can get to work with the client and help them in their wardrobe and their shops, it's the opportunity for you to start your own style business. You're adding, or you could be adding, wardrobe and shopping skills to an existing business. So perhaps you're an interior designer and or a life coach, or a personal trainer, maybe a beauty therapist. So there's all these different elements that are kind of linked to the style and image business. A lot of those people have already trained with me on other courses, but certainly this would fit in really well for them as well. Or you may want to go and work as a personal shopper within a store and build your expertise and your experience working in a department store to start off with. And so, although I can't guarantee that you get a job after doing the course, I'm sure it would certainly help to prove that you've been through this process, and you're going to know an awful lot more than a lot of people out there who work as a personal shopper. So the course works in the sense that you receive one chapter a week, so you have time to work through each chapter, so you complete any exercises, do any research, and then work with some model clients. So I'd recommend that you have a few people that you work with, so that you can practice your skills with them. And it's kind of aimed that you're going to be spending sort of an hour to 3 hours a week maximum doing these things. So it's not, and I mean, that really is on the heavy week that you'll be doing 3 hours. It's usually just over about an hour and a half. I've had a few people just going through a pilot program, so they've helped iron out a few of not that there were any rough edges, but just some of the technology, so that we've got that right. And so they've all kind of been working through the process over the last few weeks. And so what you also get as part of the course, it's not all online, you do get the opportunity to interact with me. So that's through our monthly Q&A coaching calls. So that is in a group, so you'd be with me and then anyone else who's going through the course at this time. It means that you're going to learn and ask questions, you're going to learn from one another and get a bit of accountability as well, so that you make sure you keep up with the training chapters, so that you're at the same sort of stage at the monthly calls. We've also got a Facebook group, which for some reason is not written up there. So if you've got any questions in between times, then I can answer those through that medium as well. And obviously there's emails. If you're desperate, you can always email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But this course is ideal, if you've been waiting and wanting to learn about the image industry for ages and want to sort of just dip your toe in, but know that you could, set up a business from it afterwards as well. Within a couple of months, you're going to have all this knowledge and then be able to go out and set yourself up. It'd be perfectly possible to do that with this knowledge, and so you can get started. So I've got 24 years of experience to share, and once you've joined the program, you're not going to be taken off the program. You'll always have access to the content, and I'm going to be continuing to add information as the course develops and as your business grows, so you can always learn more. And there's, the joy about our business as well is that we never stop learning. There will always be more things to learn, and that's not just because of fashion. Technology moves on, people change, there's different things happening all the time, so you're never going to stand still, that's for sure. But equally, I've made a lot of the mistakes for you, and so you can learn from me. As I say, I'm very proud of the course because it is this kind of distillation of my knowledge and what I've loved doing, and I hope to share that with you so that you can get out there and help the people that you're meant to be helping. So big question, what's the price? So from the 3rd of May, all of this will be £500. And that's approximately, today's figures, $719 US dollars. But I've got a pre-launch offer running until Monday the 2nd of May, so that's just under a fortnight. So during this time, I'll be selling it for £400. So that's with a 20% discount, and so that's approximately 575 US dollars. So if you want to find out more about it, then please pop along to the URL you can see there, but I will send that to you in an email later on this evening with a copy of this recording of the webinar. So it will be in there if you don't get a chance to write that all down at this moment in time. But I was just going to say, are there any other questions? And I'll come back and I'll bring that, pop that back up in a minute, because just one more thing I need to say. So as I say, just need to act fast. You've got sort of about 11 days, I don't know, maybe 13 days, 12, 13 days. Price is only available till midnight on Monday the 2nd of May. You can sign up any time between then and now, and you'll be sent the first chapter on receipt of your payment, and then you will be on your own personal program and you'll receive a chapter every week after that. So there's no waiting around to get started. You can get going as soon as you like, and the coaching calls are held on the first Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. and that's UK time. And if you can't make the calls, I will always record them. And if you've got a question that you want me to answer on the call, and then please send that in to me before the call, and I will always cover that for you on the call. I'll say that you'll also be invited to join the Facebook group, and so you can ask questions in there as well and share with everyone how you're getting along. So there we are. That's the URL again I was mentioning about. So that's all the W's, studyandstyletraining.com, personal shopper launch offer with dashes in between. But as I say, I'll pop that into an email for you later on. So have you got any more questions? And let me just go into the box and see what we've got here. So please ask questions, that's fine. Oh, I can see one come in. So that's Katie. If I want to start with this course, can I add more training in the future? Yep, that's absolutely possible. A couple of the girls who've been on the pilot course, that was definitely what they wanted to do. So I've done this, but what I've said is that if you want to then do the personal stylist course or the image professional, or you want to do one of the colour analysis courses afterwards, then you would be able to do that. But because you've done this course, you would get 10% off any other courses that you do in the future. So that's absolutely fine. Not a problem there. And hang on, there's another call. Is that Sarah? Can I pay by installments? Yes, if you want to pay by installments, I'll do a 2 installment offer. So literally I don't add a fee for it. So it would be £200 as soon as you join, and then £200 a month later. And you'd need to contact me directly for that, because I haven't set that up as a click through on the form on the sales page. But if you want to do that, then email me and we can set that up for you. So no problem. Thanks, Sarah. And Julie says, will I get a certificate? Yep, absolutely. Once you've finished the course, and I send you, there's a short assessment for you to fill out, and I'd like to see you sort of do a couple of before and after photos with a client. Then that's what I ask you to do, and once you finish that assessment, we'll send you a certificate, that's the word I'm looking for, a certificate to say that you've been through the course, and that you could go and work with people as a personal shopper and an expert wardrobe organizer. So I think that if there's any other questions, let me just double check here. That would be great. I think that's everything there. So without further ado, I think we're out of time now anyway, so I shall leave you to your evenings. And thanks, sorry about the beginning, we had a few problems with the audio. And if any questions, as I say, then give me a pop over and ask me a question on email, or book a call to speak to me this week. I've got to set up a few slots if you need to talk through any of the, have you got any questions on the course. And I look forward to seeing you on the course, hopefully in the next few weeks. Okay, bye for now.